back, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, but it's not just me. It's not just me. It's Joe. How do I pull you in here, Joe?
Everybody,
There you are. Welcome, Joe. Good to have
how's
you
it
on.
going? Let's go.
All
Earnings
right.
report live. Yes, sir.
We're doing it. We're doing it live. All right. So we have Cisco, we have McDonald's, we have AR, ALB. We're going to be watching APP as well. In terms of importance to the market, probably app most important. We really want to see a bottom forming in these software as a service names. It has been rough out there for the software boys, so we want to give them a break. We want to see if app can help them out there. Some levels to watch. Some levels to watch. We are looking at 500 to the upside as the obvious target. Pull this full screen here. So bulls want to say that this is a cup and handle. They want to say we're going higher. They want to look for roughly a 1.2 extension of the mood. So 520, I like the 500 round target as well. And we see previous wicks at 507. So somewhere in that zone is going to be our long targets. If we do get the move, you could be looking for a breakthrough of roughly 471 to get involved there, or you could be looking to buy on weakness as well if you think the name's good. But I'm kind of thinking that this could potentially flush out pretty significantly. I could think that this needs to make a much lower flush out, a much lower low in this double bottom. So kind of entertaining that possibility, and we'll watch closely for their results as well as their guide to kind of give us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain in what Wall Street is thinking when it comes to these names, whether they're ready to stop this relentless selling. So app, I think, is number one. We also have that McDonald's, which is gonna give us some good insights on how those kind of consumer staples, or what would you call it, more defensive names are doing. And we mentioned ALB for the commodity side for the miners, and as well as AR for our oil and gas equities there. So a little bit of everything, something for everyone. The first
Yeah.
up is going to be app coming in 4 minutes, and I think we have. Well, you
I
want
think
to,
we got
Joe?
McDonald's right now. So,
Oh, it
um,
just came out.
yeah. I think they were 4 o'clock. So, looks like that
Boom.
one's hitting. If you want to bring up that chart.
Yeah. All right. So we got McDonald's right in the middle down here, currently trading 330 handle up from the 324. So a nice $5 push so far. No slouch when it comes to these slower mover names. We mentioned this on the other stream. McDonald's interesting daily chart there as well. Pull that up really quickly right next to it to show y'all that
Yep.
this
It looks
thing.
like earnings per share. The estimate was like 304 to 305. Came out at 312. 2.3% difference. Revenue estimate of 6.83 billion came out at 7.01 billion. An increase of 2.59%.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And it looks like the market likes it. So 330, we are above all-time highs, or at least on my chart. Yeah, it's got to be all-time highs on McDonald's here. So blue skies territory ahead. When you're in blue skies like this, you can just keep on running. So there is reason to like. I'm sorry. There's reason to what? Oh, I messed up the joke. What is it? I'm loving it. I blew it so bad, Joe. It's all over. I'm gonna
Yeah,
hang my head in shame and think
getting
about
these
that.
confused here. App loving it. I'm loving it.
Man, yeah, there you go. You got both of them. You're firing on all cylinders. So let's see if the software can fire on any cylinders, because it's been tough out there for them, man. I tried to buy the Microsoft dip. It did not work. So Cisco is also going to be interesting. This one's been much stronger. They're obviously on the more infrastructure side of things as opposed to that software, and they are getting rewarded for being a part of something that isn't just getting destroyed like some of these other names. Look at that. Just amazing. How about that? So I'm not super familiar with what got this leg of this move going. Do you know anything about the recent narrative for Cisco here? If not, I can pull some stuff up too. But
Yeah.
it's not one you
You
trade
know,
much, or at least I trade
yeah,
much.
yeah. You know me. I'm mostly 95% small cap. So, filling in here just a little bit, but obviously Cisco, big name, and one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. We're
Um,
gonna we're gonna see what's going on there. I think that to the downside, I see this imbalance here. I see this 9 moving average and this 83.50 handle there. So that's definitely the area of interest. McDonald's still flagging and pushing up nicely. That might be the end of the move. I'm watching app because we should get results any minute. First move looks like, oh, we're shaking and baking here, guys. We're shaking and baking. No result quite yet, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna pull up Twitter here. Joe, let me know what you see on the charts.
yeah. Yeah, we got. Let's see. Cisco app is moving.
I'm reloading. I'm looking.
So I don't see anything from
Oh, I
earnings
got it.
level
I got
just
it.
yet.
AppLovin, fourth quarter revenue 1.66 billion, estimated 1.61 billion. AppLovin fourth quarter EPS 3.24. Let's see. I do have to double check these numbers, but that was the first one I saw there. Um, yes, that looks like, all right, double checking. Yeah, all right, cool. So how are we responding here? Okay, awesome. Bullish here. We're going to be testing some interesting levels here. I'm going to zoom in for y'all. This is an hourly chart. We'll zoom in just a second, but I want to just draw out this level. This is where we need to break. That's where we found sellers, and that's where the truth of the tape is going to be revealed, whether this earnings is actually bullish. I have not dug into all of the details here. Scrolling through my Twitter feed, it looks like I'm seeing some people say strong results. Let's see. Let's see. We also have hubs to take a look at. We're gonna pull that up. We got to go multi-screen now because they're gonna start popping on us here, guys. HubSpot here is up then down. It looks like. I think they looks like they missed. Okay. Hubs missed NBIX as well. I don't actually know this ticker. Neurocrene Biosciences. That's why I don't know. I don't trade biosciences. Well, they missed. That's not as exciting. We're going back to the fun stuff, guys. Let me see. I'm going to keep refreshing, seeing what else I see. ALB is going to be coming in pretty soon here, I would expect. Oh, it's 4:15, so we got a little bit of time for that to catch our breath. We also have QS QuantumScape at 4:15, as well as Aurora Innovation. They're a cool, I think they do like automated trucking, robotics, and stuff. We have Equinix as well. Oh, man, they're just slamming us today. We'll check on Equinix.
Yeah, we got quite a few.
All right. So McDonald's probably not much more of a move today. Maybe this flag continues. Either way, it probably continues going forward. Very strong into blue skies. I'm not sure how much volume and interest there will be after hours. So we're going to pop Microsoft off the screen and we're going to bring up, what was I just saying? Oh my goodness. EQIX.
Yeah, EQIX, Equinox Inc.
I'm not seeing numbers.
That looks like they've got a miss on revenue. 2.46 billion was estimated, and 2.42 billion was reported. So down 1.69%. EPS 5.38 estimate, and came in at $8.91%. So a 65% difference.
Okay, and by the way, I have HubSpot earnings report here as well. They have adjusted EPS at 3.09. It's a double beat, so that's 33%, 33% gain year over year. On the revenue side, they have 846 million in sales. That's a 20% year over year increase there. So, oh man, we have LPTH as well. That's a fun one. That's a little some type of drone components play. I would expect them to do quite well. I actually have some shares of this. I free rolled the position. So it's a small position from like, I forget, 1050. We came all the way back to my break even. Darn. Oh well. So we'll watch this one as well, but I think it might not be as interesting to others as it is to me. Although, if this daily chart gets going, yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this. Actually, as I look at this, trading back into the previous swing high, it tried to squeeze, had to take the heat off. Now it's putting in a little inverted head and shoulders, it looks like on the daily there, into that 50 day. So definitely a strong technical setup into potentially very strong earnings as well. Going to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, LPTH.
Meanwhile, it looks like Cisco just released. I just saw that candle shake. Oh, maybe it is pre-release or just preemptively. Strange. Let me look.
Yeah, that one's pulling in just a little bit there to the downside.
I see somebody saying 15.3 billion compared to 15.12 billion that the street. Wait, but that's the other way around. I think they mean 15.12 compared to the 15.3 that the street wanted. So I will verify those numbers as soon as I find them from a more verifiable source.
Yeah, I got from Earnings Hub. I've got 15.12 estimate 15.35 billion.
That makes way more sense. I shouldn't
Need.
look at the latest tab on Twitter. That's dangerous. Could be reading anything in there. So we get an initial move down here. I'm going to pull this full screen real quick. I want to pull out to a higher time frame to get y'all some levels that we could be trading down to in particular. So we have this previous zone of interest that's trying to hold us right now. If we sweep this, we've got another big old gap down here to the 78, but this is an area where they're going to try to hold the line. That being said, a little bit spooky that they're getting punished here.
Yeah.
Looking for more details there. But if we can't hold this, I'm going to go to a daily. I want to show you guys the imbalance that we're kind of testing right now. So this is the imbalance that we're tested. We are knifing through this sharply rising 9-day. So now I would like to see whether this little hollow space is going to hold. And if not, which it kind of seems like probably not, we have another important hollow space here that's also a previous swing high. So this is the first zone of interest under this 83 to 82.50-ish, but down here at roughly the 80 handle is really where I think things get interesting for potential reversals. Keep an eye there as well. Meanwhile, does SPY care about any of this? No, not really. No, not really. It's chilling.
Yeah, just chopping around. Yep, chilling.
By the way, I was looking down here on EQIX, like where the heck? I just saw the spread. I couldn't find an actual share traded. Well, now I see the spread's way the heck up here. Congratulations, EQIX, Equinix Bulls. It looks like LPTH announced, and they are not having a good time so far trading at the 920 handle. That's why it's a long-term hold, guys. That's why we free rolled it. Technology. So hey, maybe I'll buy some more. Let's see where the levels are on that guy. Currently trading right back into this base. I might nibble some more shares here because we're right back. I mean, look, the spread, it's like the exact zone here. So I'm going to try really quickly to get in. Not in this broker though. Yeah, I think this is good. I just want to see a little bit of a bounce. So I'm going to get ready to send the order if I need to. Because this is a very high quality name in the drone space that I want to be a part of, but it's getting punished, I think, unfairly. So Cisco, we mentioned this zone of interest. It is finding buyers here for now. It's swept underneath, which is why I was suspicious. So far reclaiming, we're going to watch this one as it progresses. Yeah, by the way, that's a minus 4% on Cisco at its lows, looking like more like -3 now. Where's my measuring tool? Where's my super suit? There it is. Yeah, 3.5%. I love this. I just found this. This is the coolest thing. I love that I just keep finding new cool stuff in Trader Evolution.
Yeah.
It's like,
It takes a while to get set up, but it's all right. I mean,
it's kind of like Thinkorswim in that it is, I think, best for power users, kind of. You have to kind of dig through some menus sometimes, but there's just so much good stuff in there. So it's pretty neat compared to some other platforms I've used where I'm like, there's not enough utility. So let's see. Oh my goodness, there's just more and more. Let's see. ALB, nothing yet. That's coming out in 2 minutes. I care about that one. AR is another one I'm interested in. Big old widespread. Have to refresh this page too. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm having to duplicate my grid tabs over and over.
I know it's overwhelming. I have like a massive monitor situation going on here, and even I don't have enough screen space. So CFLT Confluent. I forget exactly what these guys do. I know they're high quality. I know my good buddy Seal is in them. And let's get to a daily, get our bearings here on Confluent. Yeah, CFLT. Looks like they double beat. Looks like they had a surprise 166% beat. Also very, very compelling chart here on the daily for this. So you have this kind of flat top. I mean, heck, it's so weird. It's like an equilateral triangle. What in tarnation am I looking at? All right, so we got some Illuminati shit going on CFLT. It's coming back into this flattening 9 moving average. Let's see if this in this low volume node, this is really interesting, this 30-50 handle. So I'm going to look into the earnings a little more. If they're good, this might be an interesting one to consider a nibble on. And remember, these are really Not some. These are fun for me. I do it with a few shares usually, and then sometimes I'll be like, oh, nice. Now I own a few shares of this company at a really
Yep.
cheap price that I kind of stole.
I think QS may have just reported as well. It looks like
Great.
getting
Oh, I'm
a
yapping. Yeah, it's the
bit light.
115. So I'm looking for ALB as well. And they'll pull QS up as well. An app still chugging down here, by the way. It is trying to hold this 50, but it's not having a great time here. 420. It's heading on down to this 400 node, like we mentioned, is the next area of interest. I believe we mentioned that. I don't know. I'm going to pretend we mentioned it. Sorry, Joe, what was I pulling up for you here?
I was pulling. I was pulling up QS. I don't remember what you.
No, QS was what I was looking for.
Was it?
So nice
Okay.
big flag on the hourly here. Kind of got a little limp roll to it, so I could see this failing. I could see it saying, "Nah, just kidding, we're going up." So often you'll see ambiguous setups going into earnings here. Oh, look, LPTH popped and I missed it. Darn. Yep. Well, that's okay. That's okay. It'll probably give me another chance to get in back off of 10. Not worried about it. QS looks like first, not even move is down, but just showing a big top wick there. Interesting to note. I'm refreshing again to see if I got them ALB results. Nothing yet. It's the one I'm interested in. Let's see what's up with QS. I don't have QS as well on my website, but I'm going to pull it up on Twitter here.
Yeah, QS. I'm not seeing anything in Earnings Hub just yet.
Yeah, never mind. I saw a link to where they will be doing the earnings call. That'll get you. Okay. Yeah, Mickey D's double B. Has anybody missed yet today?
I haven't seen.
EQIX
There was
missed,
one.
double missed and ripped. Heck yeah. Let's go, baby. Positioning. It's so important to consider how the market feels about the stock going into earnings, because that can really set expectations very high or very low, which can be very easy or very hard bars to cross for these companies sometimes. Let's see. I'm still looking.
I know.
This is the one I want to see.
VKTX Viking Therapeutics. They had a miss, but
yeah, I bet they do. That one murdered me.
Yeah.
Gapped me so hard overnight. I was like, come on, man. Thought it was sized appropriately. Did not feel like it. Let's see. All right. They're up. Of course. Why not? This 30 handle, I swear this thing lives at the 30. Last time I was trading this, it was at the 30 handle. And it's kind of that same look back where we were just talking about this a couple times. And I think it's, I wonder, like, am I like fixating on one pattern all of a sudden this week? It's like, no, the market's just showing this in a lot of different charts. So I'm seeing it in a lot of different places. I'll shut up though, because ALB, decent red candle there, makes me think that we might have earnings or are getting them soon. Refreshing my feeds. Nothing on earnings whispers yet. Lithium, by the way, I forgot if I mentioned, they are a lithium miner. All right. Looks like Q4 loss on tax and write down. Q4 revenue 1.4 billion is a 16% year over year increase. Q4 net loss 414 million EPS minus 387 a share. Adjusted EBITDA is 269 million. That's plus 7% year over year. We have free cash flow. I'm sorry. What do we got? Small writing. CapEx 590 million. CapEx guide 550 mil to 600 mil there. All right. Let's see. How's the market feeling about that? They don't love it. Let's look at the daily chart. What was this? Was this thing going crazy and it just needs to take a timeout? Some of these have been going crazy and just need to take a timeout.
Yeah.
So what I think is that if earnings were good, this was going to squeeze, like really, really out expected, better than this. Then they squeeze out of this flag. Now I think that it's going to probably make a higher low or rebase or retest this 50-day, this white line here, something like that. So I'm going to keep it on my watch list, but not on my immediate breakout watch list anymore. More like a keep an eye to accumulate. Because I mean, man, I was going to buy this at 80 and I just didn't. So now it's like it's hard to chase up here.
Oh
So gotta
yeah.
make sure it's a tight entry. Okay, let's see anything new here. App still down about 4% there. I'll put that one back on the screen. It's pretty important. We can start dissecting that report. So this looks like it's about to be going lower in my book. It came up to the 50% to this flattening yellow moving average. I'll pop that up. Flattening yellow 1 minute. This is our basic trend moving average. If we find sellers immediately here, usually not a good sign if you're trying to look for a trend reversal. Usually that means the sellers are still here and the trend is still intact. Trend intact in this case means going on lower. So we marked out this big blue zone of interest and knifing pretty down deep into it right to this fib. Zoom out, see where that fib is. Yeah, so okay. So this is interesting. On the daily, what did we do? We came down and we filled up the gap, right? We filled up the gap. We came back and retransacted at this fib. We are popping up. The question is it a dead cat or not? So this is a potential double bottom, but we really got to look into these earnings and dive in and see if this is good enough to stop the bleeding in the sector. We should also look at some of the other leaders in the sector and see if they care at all.
Yeah, app. Such a nice move, from earlier in the year and just in last year all the way up till January.
Yeah.
I mean, just the chart just gets all choppy and so you got to wonder.
Yeah, you got to wonder because it's like when you zoom out and you look at, let's look at like a weekly here. So I remember the saga. I remember the squeeze. I remember, I wasn't touching this darn thing. It's an expensive stock, getting more expensive, and I don't know what the heck they did to deserve a double, I guess. Wasn't really my space. But then I was started to watch it a lot more closely when we were in this kind of flagging area. And I was thinking, man, this looks like a potential just high and tight flag unicorn type setup where, yeah, sure, it's up 8 billion%, but if it's going to go another 8 billion% because they have whatever moat, they have whatever, product. Again, especially at this time, I was not really as familiar with what app even did. It was Mark Minervini trading Upstart basically. But when we got this break here, I was on my focus list and I said, all right, well, I guess I'll probably nibble chase. If it breaks through the top with high volume, it'll feel bad. But, I'd like to get a back test of these moving averages in this kind of breakout here. And just, I remember this move here happened on such low volume and it took so little to push this thing down. It felt like the wind just kind of blew it over once it got up near, not even just close to this previous high. And now you look back and you have this massive double top and you're like, is this thing done? Is this the end? Not the end, of course, but like, is this thing, does it have to go all the way back? I mean, heck, it just tagged the 6-2 golden fib of this move. So it's important to keep perspective because it's kind of dueling narratives. One is like, this is a massive high time frame double top, but we came all the way back down to the breakout level.
Yeah.
Is the narrative good enough to change?
And we're really dipping into that, volume profile too. I mean, this consolidation up, up high. I mean, obviously that downward flag breakout, comes back, retests that upper line, that upper downtrend line,
Yeah.
and then tries again. But now it's coming back. Now I think it's just got to have time to digest down here.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time for some digestion of
Yeah. I'm totally with you, and it's great to talk about the horizon there because if I'm ever buying earnings, I'm usually expecting it to like a buying an earnings dump. I'm usually saying, all right, this is a name that I liked and now it's on sale. And I don't really care about much else. in terms of like by my calculations, my book value, my fair value is much higher. I believe in it for whatever reason. I want exposure to that sector, that space. Then, I'll start taking a position with the intention of accumulating, saying, hey, this is the nibble. If it just rips from here, well, that's cool. But I'll be kind of annoyed almost because I couldn't load up a bunch of something that I loved for cheap. So if you believe in this narrative, if you think that the Claude and everything else, the whole SAS apocalypse is a little overblown, probably is, then this is not a bad place to take a stab at a first position and think, all right, I might have to average down to 300. That would suck. I don't know if I would want to do that, to be completely honest.
Yeah. And you know what?
These are mindset you'd have to have. Otherwise, you'll have to have a stop on a name that's basing, and it might take years. You're going to get got,
Yeah.
It's not conducive to a happy trader. So
yeah, and it's going to take time and a long time. And, it's on the weekly chart, this is just coming right into, the 400 level, bounce just underneath that. So, I mean, it's got to hold here if it's going to, 410, to, 400, it really needs to hold. If it retests down here in 350, then, I'm going to be looking for this to go lower, we got 350 on a weekly, then about 320s after that.
Sorry, I was getting distracted by chat, but let me pull up a high time frame to just illustrate what you're talking about. But yeah, it's spooky. It's getting spooky down there if this isn't an amazing entry. So I will play the devil's advocate because I like contrarian narratives and I like buying bottomed out sectors. I'm not buying this, but potentially we could have seen just this gap fill, a retest of this fib, and we could be putting in a higher low, and this could be, like we said, just into this previous breakout level and into this golden pocket of, you'll see it when I pull up a weekly, there we go, of this big old range that we're in still. In this big old range, we are just in this golden pocket, which is the optimal place to accumulate a position for institutions if they believe that it is going up and out of this range. So it could be a really good time to take a starter. You are basically getting a deal. I mean, right now it's actually trading above. Where is it trading? Hold on. The weekly is throwing me off. A 4 hour, so I can actually see this candle. There we go. Trading at 437. Okay. So the question is this a higher low? And is this enough of a higher low or not? When you have earnings, you kind of speed run patterns sometimes. So maybe instead of having to go down like this and up like this over the course of like a week, it just goes boom, boom in one candle. Mm-hmm. But it still does what it needs to do, which is go down here, stop people out, and then get new people involved, and then use those new people to keep bidding the price up, essentially. New shares, new institutions, new volume is what I should be saying. So the last thing I'll say about this setup is 7-8 fib, this yellow line here, this is the stop run fib. Let's go back to the weekly. This is the stop run fib where they like to take it on down to run the stop. Sorry, you can't see it on that. So 4 hour we'll have to do. But this yellow line here, this is like the last hope for bulls, So when it wipes out under here, it really is just crushing. You're like, the whole move is gotten reverted. It's going much lower. I'm getting out now instead of getting stopped out in 5 minutes because I've been watching it sell for an hour, straight, or a month straight in some situations. So I don't know. I'm just a little bit hesitant on this, but it's not my least favorite of the software as a service. I have a hard time. Joe, what would you, gun to your head, if I made you buy software right now, what would you be buying? I know. Tough.
Biotech. No.
It doesn't count.
I know. That's exactly usually where I sit. I can take a look at the charts and do the analysis on them, and I got to get a little bit more into the earnings, as you know, and
fair. That's a tough
bigger
question.
companies.
You're in dire straits when you're like, just give me the biotech. I don't even know, man.
I'm looking for the crap companies that are just, crap in the small cap crap place. So,
Love it.
that's where my niche is. But
Uh,
besides that though, I don't know. I don't know. If I had to choose, I would do my research. I would just choose the best names in the sector that I can find,
mhm,
and I'd be looking for you know if they are coming down and they're still performing and the type of company that's going to continue on, I'd be looking dips into the 200 simple
mhm.
moving average. I'd be looking for those fib retracements,
Yeah,
to
kind of the
be
safe
adding
places.
to my long-term position. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I know it's not fair to put you on the spot when
Oh, all
you're,
right.
you're like, I don't want to touch this stuff. I've been reading about it.
Yeah.
What do you want
Pick
from
on
me?
pick on the guy with one eye. Thanks, Steve.
All right, so I will tell you what I think then. So for
I'm just
me,
kidding.
there's only a few places that I really want to put money in, and they're pretty few and far between. One of them is Datadog. Basically, I'm looking at cybersecurity, and that's kind of it. To be honest, it's the only things that are really screaming to me like this is something that's not going anywhere. This is like the anti Palantir. Instead of meming, it was getting sold so they could buy meme stuff like Zscaler. These are good companies, guys. This is a good company, I swear. Sure couldn't tell it by looking at these things. Fermi hit 11. Oh, nice. We'll look at that in just a sec.
Yeah. By the way, just want to
Gosh,
give a
look at that.
quick shout out to the guys in chat who always join us. Michael P. D. Ryder, Tack, thanks for being here. Tyler Smith, you guys, we appreciate you so much for always joining in with Steve. Once again, just appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you guys are the best because like you guys put us in a scary situation. We don't get to choose our coworkers. We don't get to choose who we hang out with all day. So the fact that you guys are actually cool makes our work so much nicer. So thank you, please.
Yeah,
Don't
thanks for pitching in.
don't leave.
Larry's usually here too, but you know, all you guys.
Don't leave Joe here stuck with just me. It's not fair to the guy. He's a good guy. Uh,
No, dude, it's always great to be on the show with Steve. I mean, you guys. I mean, listen to the knowledge that Steve has on so many different, strategies, theories. He's on top of the market, every sector. He's got just so much knowledge. I learn something every day when I'm listening to Steve in the background. If you guys didn't know that, I'm usually the one posting some things in the sidebar chat and stuff like that. But it's an honor to be on here. I'm learning from Steve every day.
Sorry, Joe, I wasn't paying attention. Who's this guy? He sounds amazing. I'd love to meet him. I wish
Yeah,
I could follow his trades. I was like, no way you're talking
that's
about me. That's
that's why
very
it
kind of
says the earning challenge behind, because I'm the challenge.
you.
Learning from
I'm the
Steve.
problem. It's me. So
Just kidding.
crowd is interesting. I'm just messing around here, drawing some channels. I don't think this is the best one. What I do think though is that it's compelling. I think this one's my favorite. It's the strongest for sure. And what I kind of see is that we had an ascending triangle kind of breakout type beat. That's a zone. I'm low energy. I'm just doing one line TA now. So what else do you need, right? I mean, resistance, flip to support, held to support, testing again. This is like probably best name in the sector. I think it's the best name in the sector. Other competitor or contenders, Zscaler, ZS, and DDog, Datadog. Is that what they even call that? I call them Datadog. I don't know if that's what their actual name is. Yes. Okay. Cool. Sometimes you go through so many tickers, so many companies that they don't even seem real anymore, and you forget that's an organization with a ton of people who work there, and I just
Mhm.
like call it letters. Uh, in
Yeah.
terms of like the higher time frame charts, I think looking through them real quick there, I still like crowd the most. Hadn't looked in a week or so since it lost this base. I tried it here, got stopped out break even here. It's like okay, I'm out. I guess felt good being out after this, but now I'm kind of thinking, hey. I thought this was enough of a washout, and then it did this. Now I'm like, all right, now I'm interested. Now I'm interested here. So we're watching the 9 moving average as it curls up here. What I'd probably like to see is still some nice structure. Where's my arrow? Still would be nice. See a little push down in this next week. Get a nice entry there on the higher low. But essentially, we got a big old volume node. Big old volume node right there. Once we're through this yesterday's high, I think we rock it up to here. And that's going to be the 21. See how they all just kind of align. Love that.
Yeah, we're just kind of holding in there in the pivot, midpoint pivot. It came all the way down. 373s there. Yeah, I would look for that too. I'd look for a pullback.
Man, I remember there was a really nice trend line or a nice channel that I found, and now I'm having trouble finding it. There it was. I think this is the secret line. Do you ever you're scratching your head looking at a chart, and all of a sudden it's like that gif from The Wire. It's like, whoa, it's like, oh, it all makes sense.
There it is.
Yeah, you overlay one indicator or one tool, and all of a sudden it's like you hear the angels in the background, the chorus, singing hallelujah. You're like, oh, it all. How could I have ever been unsure? It's all so clear.
And you know what? That reminds me when you start talking about, getting granular on a chart, starting at the larger time frames, looking out and then diving deep, because, a lot of times, a chart will not, I know in small caps, the chart might not be trading on a 5-minute time frame.
Yeah.
It might be trading on the 15-minute time frame, or the 30-minute or 4-hour, so finding those, can be, really significant in your trading.
Absolutely. Really quick, Tyler, there's 2 ETFs. There's Hack and there's also Bug, I believe. I'll double check. Be sure to check on the holdings. Actually, why don't we do that? We got some time. Why don't we do that right now? This is a really good resource. I'll show you. It's called ETFDB, ETF database. So what you can do is you can search. Let's see if I can just search for the sector. Yeah, cool. So we got a couple options. We got Bug. That's going to be global X. We also have CIBR, CIBR, First Trust. You have Hack. You also have HAQY, which is going to be covered calls on that. That's an interesting one. And iHack. Apparently there's a new one since I last checked, but it's really important to actually check what they hold. So what you can do is you can go on in. You get all the baseball card, all the important things. The expense ratio is important, how much you're paying to hold this, to have these assets managed for you. And most important is going to be the holdings. Where are the holdings? There they are, holdings. So we need to see what is actually in this darn thing. So now I'm going to duplicate the tab, and we're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to compare. Because they actually, this one, I was shocked at how different the holdings are. And you could be buying things that you don't even realize. Like a lot of those AI ETFs, you were just buying like one semiconductor and like weird little tiny companies like SoundHound and stuff like that, which I guess is representative of it, but not how I would personally choose to construct my AI basket. So, you often can find an ETF that really works for your trading style. And sometimes you'll find when you're like, well, I wouldn't have bought these. I'll just build my own basket. So, while I was talking, I was forgetting to type.
Yeah, that's very cool, Steve.
Yeah, and Hack was the other one that I think I'm thinking of, because I always thought Bug and Hack were like inverse of each other, but no, there's no inverse. The inverse is something else. So I was looking through these, and okay, yeah. So this one, it's all Cisco and Broadcom, and they have 7% holdings in Northrop Grumman. I never consider like actual like military defense companies cybersecurity. To me, that's very different. Like they're adjacent, but they trade off of different dynamics. But I guess heightened geopolitical stress is still the kind of key factor for the guys putting together this basket. So you can compare that to These guys here, and you can see these guys are going to be more pure play. You see none of this Northrop, none of this General Dynamics. But what you do have is more actual cybersecurity, like Fortinet, very heavily weighted. I really like the Fortinet chart, by the way. Checkpoint, amazing chart that I don't hear anybody talk about, at least last time I checked. So last time I checked, Checkpoint. Sorry, it's been a long day. So I'd be curious to see what they are up to. CHKP. For me, I never heard about this. Maybe it's because doing stocks is my only big boy job, and I've never actually used cybersecurity tools in an office. But this one's looking a lot more constructive than a lot of them. A lot of them have really gotten beat, but these guys are just quietly hanging out, and I think this is accumulation. How you feeling on this chart? This is a monthly, by the way.
Yeah. I got to pull that one up. Just looking at your screen, though, we're testing that previous low from I can't see the dates there. Right where right where the price
Yeah.
is. Yeah, right on that.
1101 there.
So, you could see this pulling back, even to just a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't know how much more it's gonna, come back. I mean, if it does, the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, next level is down. Obviously, it's down at. Let me just pull it up on my chart.
Yeah, sure thing. I will ramble a little more because I really like the sector. I think it's cool because you get tech exposure, but you're buying stuff that is the opposite of vaporware. This is not going to be vibe coded away. This important security features and regulatory stuff and all sorts of reasons why enterprises are going to keep using these instead of building their own. And I believe the world, unfortunately, is a increasingly volatile and unpredictable place on a global scale.
There we go.
And with that comes increased security risks. So it's you get the double whammy, So it's kind of like with that ETF, you're buying defense contractors, you're buying tech. Mm-hmm. You're kind of doing that already when you're getting cybersecurity, in a sense that they are going to be much more resilient to certain types of shock situations. So that's another interesting way to almost have them as a pseudo hedge to the other parts of your tech portfolio, because for certain events that could potential tail risks, potential even black swans, that could be a really good ballast where the rest of tech gets really wiped out. Just something to think about. The other side of that is if something bad does happen, they could all bottom out just by the nature of liquidity and how ETFs are basketed and everything. And they could throw the baby out with the bathwater. And maybe that's the time we should be waiting to buy these cybersecurity things. Kind of like the CrowdStrike when they had the big outage, and everybody sold the heck out of it. And then somebody wrote a whole short report and they couldn't post it because CrowdStrike was out.
Yeah.
So, that was one of my favorite stories of the year. What can you do?
Yeah,
but it's an interesting sector, and the only place that I really am interested in terms of software as a security. There's SaaS. Maybe Microsoft is another area you could look at, just because, hey, why not? They're Microsoft. They're freaking Microsoft. So eventually, remember I said, I don't know if I said it on stream or not, but I said here, probably maybe a bottom. Actually, I don't know if it's a bottom, but probably a decent place to try, and then just head bonk, and probably we need to make a higher low. But now that I look at it again, it's I have no reason to be involved with this yet. It might not be done selling, or it might need to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be unstable in V shape and then do something crazy and go, none of those are situations that are part of my trading plan. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm just so tempted because it's it's Microsoft. It's $400. It's okay.
Right.
What if it's $350 in a week?
Yeah.
I'd rather buy more.
It's coming right down to this, uptrend line, back from 2002, just hitting right on that line.
Ooh, look at that.
If you put a line on that, and whatever moving average is there that you got. I don't have one on my chart, so I don't know if that's 200 or.
This will be the 200-month moving average here. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's a big boy. That's a big one. So if you thought they were long-term investors when they were waiting for the 200-day, these guys are moving on different. They're like China with the 100-year plan. They're buying 100-year bonds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're waiting to buy Microsoft at the 100 or the 200-month. But so I like to do this. I like it. You know how I don't like levels, I like zones. Same thing with my trend lines. So I use channels as trend lines, and I think it gives a way better look because you see when you do it like this, it kind of really captures the essence of what's going on here. It's like when you're in this zone, this is where the buying tends to happen. But it's not always right at the same line. Sometimes it's a little under. Sometimes it just taps into this zone. But it's pretty clear to me at least that this is the area where we're kind of looking. So it worked this time. If we put in a higher low on the monthly, then that could be the bottom. I just kind of like when you hear about how people are talking about software as a service and then you look at a chart like this, it's like, oh, come on. You're filling the gap. Don't be such a baby. Like it could get a lot worse. That's what I'm saying. For this chart at least. How mean would it be if everybody bought this? And it was just a massive head and shoulders. And Microsoft goes bankrupt and it's the end of the world. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder when I see weird charts like this on something so important to the world and the economy like Microsoft. A little spooky, but probably it just does some weird stuff and recovers.
Yeah.
Nice
little Bulkowski inverted head and shoulder
Yeah,
head and shoulders there.
Been studying your pattern book, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we are 3/4 of the way through here. Let's see. I should do some work. Let me go find some.
Yeah. While you're doing that,
information for you
Steve,
guys.
I just wanted to also remind everybody, we've got the earnings challenge going on with Trade the Pool this month. All through the month, there's 4 different challenges going on. But there's a challenge that goes on every day where you vote for or you predict the price of one of the earnings stocks. So I'm going to put the link in the sidebar chat, but don't forget to go over there and do that. The challenge right now is for Shop. Shop reported before the open, but it is going all the way. It will stay up there all the way until market open tomorrow. So that's the time frame that they shut that down, and then so just wanted to mention that. Don't forget to do that, guys, because there's a 25K eval account and 50K eval account up on the line. There's winners daily, and there can be multiple winners as well if you predict the price.
Joe, yeah. Can I throw my hat in the ring?
Shameless tweet.
I'll give you guys a little tip too for predicting the prices. Be sure to look for the expected moves. That can help a lot. So if you have an expected move and you have a directional bias, there you go. You've got a good place to start with a target. Then look to the left of your chart, find a good reason for a place to settle at a certain price, maybe a high volume node above near your price target where that expected move is. So use those tips and maybe you can beat me at my own game. Hey, DJ 2AM. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. How you doing? Having a good week?
Yeah, DJ is another one that we've been missing.
Yeah.
Glad he's back.
The crew.
Here. The crew's all here.
Gang's all here. And yeah, I've whoa, UCCT's above 50 or 55. I almost bought it, man. I almost bought this and Air, and they're both absolutely insane. And I'm just kicking myself holding a bunch of uranium like a jerk. I got a lot of uranium. I do have a lot of. Did I tell you guys about my new swing trades? We can talk about those really quick if you want.
Oh yeah, AEHR. I was trading this today.
Oh no! I had to not look. I got the notification that it was up 20-something% when I was going to enter last week, and I was like, there's other stuff. I bought UUUU and ONDS, both down like 10%. I stopped out of them.
Oh yeah.
Whoops. What I'm not stopped out of is FCX. I just added this morning on the wick back into my little pivot. little pivot got going on here.
Oh,
So
that's a nice little chart.
loved that. I love the kiss back into this moving average. It's curling up now. And to me, Joe, to me, this big up, big parabolic, but then it catches and then it's crazy, this chop, the big gap up, big gap down, big gap up. These are big moves. Let's see, how big are those moves? Let's find out. 14% there. Like 11% there. So these are big moves, but what we're seeing is not a blow off top.
Mm-hmm.
No blow off. Now, let's look at our old friend silver. What happened when silver put in a quote unquote parabolic top and started putting in these wide alternating candles?
Oh, this was such a nice. I was waiting for this one, just waiting
Mhm.
for days for this thing to put in a first red day. Uh,
Yeah.
a first red day all the way back in like December, right around December. Yeah, I was even looking, back then, we made that gap up on the 26th, day after Christmas.
Merry
So kind of
Christmas.
chopping around, yeah, and then
No entry.
looking for it again. Back uh, in the end of January, I think it was the 20th, right around there. Again, it kept on dipping, and it would reclaim, come back. It would come back, and then again on the
This one,
yeah, 26.
this was
26.
the
I thought that was gonna be the day. I'm like,
I
"This
did
is the
too. I
day.
sold all my
This
silver.
is the day." Each of those days, though, I got a good, decent short on them,
Nice.
but then, um, but then we get that day on, the 29th, obviously, it was a great day to short that stock, but then even better, I always forget seeing this, I call it a second day down
Okay.
move. It's
Okay. So you
gapping
were looking
down,
for the second day down here?
looking for the second day down. If it gapped lower after the 29th, was that the 30th? Yeah, on a 30th.
Oh,
But
here.
I was
Not
doing other
lower, just
things
error it.
in
Oh,
Discord. I wasn't paying attention to it, but that was
yeah.
the day that I'm really looking for a pop to start to get in short. And man,
Yeah.
what
Well,
a
dude,
day on the
I
30th.
love your breakdown because it so perfectly explains what's happening on the group psychology level. Because everybody who isn't long silver only wants to short it because it's up so darn much. It's up 50% in a month. I got to short this thing, right, Joe? It's up
Yeah.
70, 80% in a month. I got to short it. It's up 100%. I got to short it sometime, right? Well, everybody's thinking about that. And then they look at their charts, it jumps higher. All right,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. They see the top wick. All right, it's back on my focus list. Bottom wick, we're going higher. All right, new high. All right, it's off people's lists. The
Mhm.
only people who are watching it up here like a hawk were people who were still long and silver bugs. Like myself after this day, I was sweating bullets.
Yeah.
And then we went down. I was like, okay, I'm glad that I sold. I sold like right at the close, basically, I think. No, not right at the close. I sold at right over 100 because it looked like we were going to lose it.
Yeah. I'm
So I
looking
marked
for
that.
like 3 daily aggressive candles higher.
Yeah.
Like a
Boom,
real,
boom, boom. Yeah, yeah.
real move. I mean, and obviously this thing was super extended, anyway. Everybody would, be saying that, but when you back out on the chart and you look at that sucker, I mean, I mean, it, you know, I could slap a small cap ticker name on this thing and just put it on the day
Yeah, what
on
is
a full minute
SLV?
chart. It looks the same way,
Did they
Right,
cure and then create a new cancer? Like what happened here?
right. Yeah. So,
You, buddy, what is up? Hey,
but
Mike
that's
Crowder. I know he's
that's
already
like that's the strategy on the first red day, that
yeah.
just, real extended. And then it's like, you can almost take that, second day down move.
Yeah.
And when you look at the aggressiveness of this second, that second day
Yeah.
after the 29th, on the 30th, then, you could really get another really good move in that,
And Joe, I gotta
downside.
keep this in mind because I'm a range trader at heart. I'm like a mean reversion trader, like in a breakout trader's body. Like I don't know how to say it. Like I always want to assume that the range is going to hold. So for example, if I saw this pre-market and it was down this much, I'd be thinking finally I get to long silver. I get to add more silver. It's never going to stop, right? It's clearly never going to stop. So it'll be back into this moving average. I'll get another cheeky ad like here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, and then like, so I would still be looking long. I would be like, I sold up here. I can get a little bit of a discount. Cool. So it just goes to show that if something's moving pre-market, listen, like don't think that that's fake just because it's low volume, and especially if it's not low volume. But for example, going through my watch list, I've been having bad insomnia recently too, so I've been up, in the pre-market, and I'll just go through my watch and see what's like. All right, the prior day after the market, I went through my list and I found the stocks that I thought looked nice and everything. But now I have a new set of data here. What is actually like starting to respond? Which setups are starting to already show an incentive to want to go? Well, the ones that were showing were copper and aluminum, and those were the ones that just screamed, came back to the entry. Let me show you. FCX was such a beautiful trade for me. Aluminum, I chased it. I'm break even on that option. It's a March option. But FCX, I was like, I'm not going to do it twice, not twice in one day. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get a foothold because now they're giving me a discount. I'm not gonna be scared, but I got to pick my spot. So my spot was this zone, specifically right the top of it, right there, because that was that really tight level of clear resistance. We gapped above it, and it was also kind of like this neckline here. And we were just coiling. And then pre-market, I was watching this ramp. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty darn bullish, but I can't buy it up here. And then I look at cash session, big hammer down. And this is where I bought my aluminum. This is FCX, but this is like the time I bought the aluminum, and it kept going down. But then I'm like, oh man, if aluminum is still going to go down, that means probably all the commodities are going to get washed equally. And I get my really nice entry on FCX. So I got a really nice entry on a starter position on a March. I'm a DGen. I want 75 strike. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but I also wouldn't necessarily say I don't think that would hit. So I just want to really quick, if you guys don't mind me rambling here, Joe, if you'll bear with me, I know.
Yeah, go for it.
This looks like a fat pitch setup to me, where we're getting this big. This is volatility increasing, but it's volatility increasing to the upside. I got to show you guys my trading view chart for this. But this is really cool. It'll work. I already have a sub. Jeez.
Let's see this.
All right. So FCX, what I want to show you is something that you can't see unless you have 20 years of price history. Whoops. Reset it. So if this was the opening range of the day and these were 1 minute candles, wouldn't you be thinking about getting long? We just closed a candle over the opening range. We set a low, we retested it, we held it really nicely, by the way. Ripped all the way back, consolidated near the neckline. Now we're pushing above. To me, this is ticking all the boxes. Ticking all the boxes. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments. I mentioned Dire Straits. I believe it. I believe it. I grew up on all the classic rock. Actually, Creedence Clearwater. They went to my high school. Not the same class, guys. But
we talking music in the chat?
We're talking everything. I guess so. I won't get too distracted here. Let me show you. So now we're on quarterly candles. Those were yearly candles. These are quarterly candles.
Don't get me started.
Don't get them started. So this is just playing peekaboo with this all-time high break, but it's also just not the first kiss. The first kiss was that big parabolic candle on the daily. We'll go and show you that one. This one. It was like, holy moly, is the move done? Nah, baby. Volatility is increasing because I think we're just starting to break this range. So again, I just want to show you. I want to compare it to... Sorry, can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I want to compare it to silver because I just saw this last night and I was like, what? Is it going to do this? Is it really going to happen? So for context here first, we'll do the same thing with silver to frame it. I think that we are right about here in the copper journey.
Wow.
Going back so we can just compare them side by side. See what I'm talking about here, guys, when I'm talking
Okay.
fat pitch? If this trade works, it'll make my year. Copper's already made my year, to be honest, but just commodities in general. And this is where my money's at for these kinds of names. So what I'm seeing, let me now finish my train of thought. I'm a rambling man. I'm rambling on. We just have such nice momentum here. We did the top wick on the monthly candle, still closed over the 50% of the candle. I like that. Another really interesting thing that happened on this monthly flip, I actually just noticed this right now, guys. We have entered a squeeze. I'm sorry, left a squeeze. I don't know which way, what's the correct way to say it for TTM squeeze. I always say, well, because it's like we're squeezing, right? We're going up. But technically, I believe it's correct to say that a stock is squeezing when the Bollinger Bands are inside the Keltner channel. So the blue Bollinger inside the yellow Keltner channel implies that it is in a squeeze condition. And then when it leaves the squeeze condition, when the yellow is over the blue, that's when you're kind of ripping. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's good. It's, like, yeah, I mean, I know they talk about Keltner and all that, tech terminology and everything like that, but identifying those channels like that and the trend lines. I mean, I'm big on trend. The break of trend to the upside.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Really,
I will get to the darn point and just say that I think that there's a lot of similarity to how copper is acting to how silver is acting, like right here, right before volatility really picks up and we just go crazy mode, where we have the big look up and it looks like it might be a topping move, but then it just does these wide sweeping back and forth barcoding here as the moving averages pick up. So I'm just seeing such a similar look here with these wide candles as the moving averages pick us up, and we are still just curling right on up off of those. So I really want to get involved. One other thing I just wanted to mention while we're here, and I know we're over time, but I'm just seeing another fractal here on the silver chart as well, where this pattern here to me looks very similar to this pattern here. So basically potentially parabolic move, potentially blow off. I remember this. I held through this. It wasn't particularly fun. It was a 16% pullback. And when you're down 16% after being up 16% in 2 weeks, you go up 16%, another 2 weeks, you're down 16%. Starting to feel like it could have been the top, But lo and behold, it did pull on and out through. I'm wondering if we're just doing the same thing here. Look at this consolidation, how it didn't even need to transact the 50. This one got the transaction finally. If you were waiting to long silver since the 50, your last chance was here at $34.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. I'm actually quite highly confident that silver is not done. And I think that we're seeing a similar thing here where we're in the start of a larger pennant that's forming. So it's going to take some time. We'll have some opportunities and we'll be talking about it a lot more. But if we get the same move, so we kind of come down flush, we have this moving average ribbon start to try to curl over, and should consolidate as we build out a bottom here. So here we add jagged move down, small move up, another drop down. And we see how we're kind of just curling up around as these flag. Then we get the break, small down, and we form a new neckline there that is where the real breakout happens. So if we got the same thing, get the same initial move down, same retrace up, right back into those moving averages as they flip, exactly like this. Then a flush lower than the previous low to scare out buyers and shake the market out there. It's exactly the same. Coming back up into the moving average ribbon again as it tries to reclaim bullish. See how this one's curling? The blue is curling up, trying to reclaim bullish and flip back on over, exactly the same. So if we are at that point, we have one more push down, And for us, that's perfect because we would get this gap and this 50 moving average. This is my spot for silver. So that's, I think, the last stop. And then we would, if we're following the same pattern, surge up, fill this gap, come back down into the moving averages ribbons that's curling up, come back. I'm not saying we're going to squeeze again, guys. I know it would be crazy, but how fun would it be if we got the same exact pattern like that? Just it's always fun to look for these because sometimes they work and you'll look back and you'll have the lines on your chart and you'll go, whoa. So
yeah.
something
And how
here.
how important is that as a new trader to draw out what you think is going to happen? You know, that's more important than everybody knows, you know, sometimes.
Absolutely. Great follow for that. I know we're running long, guys. Appreciate you being with us. We'll wrap up in just a sec, I promise. Just wanted to put it on your radar. A really good follow on Twitter who does a lot of this. You probably know him, but for the viewers, do you know Stock Pattern Pros Tim?
I've heard you mention that before.
Yeah, he's the man. I'm pulling up his thing now.
I think yesterday you mentioned that.
Yeah, I've followed him for maybe 4 or 5 years now, and it always shocked me. All right, when I first saw these guys' charts, I was like, "What is this guy smoking? I want some. This looks wild. What are you talking about when you're doing this kind of projections?" Where he's doing, actually did something kind of similar here on McDonald's, where he's calling these exact paths, and he's somehow inferring that it's going to curl up here and using all these different points, inflection points to kind of frame it. It's very interesting and very intuitive. He's like some kind of savant, but the amount of times these patterns play out so perfectly is incredible. Like for some examples here, this is TROX. He called this one out in September of 2022, that it would come down, chop into this bottom trend line, and that's the long for the big move up into this downtrend line. And I mean, pretty on point. I've seen some that have like just blown my mind. This RAMX was a good one. Yeah, he was predicting this in 2020, that it was compressing like this. It would ramp out of this incredibly rapidly, consolidate right at this previous where the bottom fell out, and then continue to just surge upward. Eventually, I would assume he would project to meet this, but doesn't have enough information to do that. But apparently he did to predict this move, which, I mean, almost to the penny, and now we're starting to consolidate right there. So very cool, crazy. Very intuitive, great follow on Twitter. Also really nice guy. So
that's cool.
Just because it was like, I'd just seen this post and I was like, man, it's good. It's good to doodle. Also, it's fun. It's like adult coloring books. All right. I guess we should wrap it up.
Guys.
I'm having too much fun.
Yeah.
Oof. Any final words, closing thoughts?
No, I think that's a wrap for our earnings report today. Tomorrow it's Steve and Josh, I think. I think.
Yes.
Yes, is that right? Yeah. And then guys, don't forget, and I know you'll be there, most of you in chat, we got the morning stream. Obviously they start at like 8:30ish, with Mitch, Money Mitch, Jane Galena, and Michael Noss. But then the call-in show is tomorrow, Thursday, right? Yep. Thursday at 12 noon. Call-in show. Let's go. Don't forget to get in, get there for it. It's always a lot of fun. So I'll just put a plug out there for that.
Totally. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for joining. Always a pleasure to spend my afternoons with you. If you guys like what you saw here, you can find more of me over at my Twitter handle at Steve Teilmann. I'm still working on posting more, but you can find my Discord server in the bio. That's where you can find me 24/7. Never not on there. So that's where to find me. You can find a lot of other amazing traders in my Discord, but also in Trade the Pool's own Discord. They have an amazing server full of amazing traders there every single day. Also, Joe's running some great book groups and other events over there. So tons of free information, tons of great community over there as well. So yeah, check us out. Come hang out and join us tomorrow. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. Take care, guys.
Later. Take care, guys.